Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nada Syakirin binti Burhanuddin. I am the presenter 1. In this video, I would like to present about introductions and element of professional judgment and professional skepticism. So, what is professional judgment? Professional judgment is a professional accountant is acting in accordance with applicable accounting, auditing, and ethical standards and with the relevant training, knowledge, and experience that they have gained over their career. It is necessary to use professional judgment in order to properly conduct a financial audit. Next, what is professional skepticism? Professional skepticism is an audited financial statement is characterized by professional skepticism, which includes an alertness to possible misstatement due to error or frauds, as well as a critical evaluation of audit evidence. Let's move to the element of professional judgment. First, what to take in. What to take in is comprehending and evaluating information and putting it into context are all part of this task. It is important to be aware of both what is said and what is left unsaid, such as detail that might be omitted from an email or a report. Next is whom and what to trust. Management accountants can use information from others with confidence. There must be processes in place to identify who and what to trust. Techniques like low-balling project proposals or setting attainable goal will be easier to spot with professional judgment. Next is element of professional skepticism. For attributes, the auditor's attributes include his or her knowledge, skills, and overall ability. To be effective, internal auditor must have the necessary training, experience, and other qualification. For mindset, integrity, and good faith, this refers to the auditor's attitude toward the audit client, who recognize the possibility of fraud, misstatement, or misrepresentations of important facts. For action, there are many examples of actions that fall into this category, such as conducting an exhausting risk assessment, carefully planning the engagements around the risk involved, ensuring strict engagement supervisions, and diligent gathering and reviewing audit evidence.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Syuhada binti Muhammad. Next, I will talk about ethical requirement relating to an audit of financial statement under requirement professional judgment by MIA. The first one is professional judgment. Assume an auditor has been trained for a long time, is knowledgeable, and has a lot of experience. This advantage benefits the auditor to be a competent auditor in order to achieve relevant judgment. The second one is professional judgment indicates proficiency in practical auditing and accounting principles. An auditor that practices the professional judgment in an audit can be recognized when the judgment that reached, whether it indicates a proficient of practical auditing and accounting principle or suitable in the view of and stable. Also, the circumstances and facts are the latest one of the auditor's report. The third one is professional judgment needs to appropriately be documented. By that, adequate audit documentation by an auditor can help the other auditor who are new to the cost of audit can figure out certain professional judgment in order to achieve conclusion in the course of audit. The fourth one is professional judgment is needed to reach a reasonable decision, such as 1. Materiality and audit risk. 2. The nature, timing, and extent of audit procedure used to meet the requirement of the ISA and gather audit evidence. 3. Evaluating whether sufficient appropriate audit evidence has been obtained and whether more needs to be done to achieve the objective of the ISA and the overall objective of the auditor. 4. the evaluation of management judgment in applying the entity's applicable financial reporting framework. 5. The final conclusions based on the audit evidence obtained. For example, assessing the reasonableness of the estimate made by management in preparing the financial statement.
Maintaining professional skepticism throughout the audit is crucial if the auditor is to avoid hazard, such as using incorrect assumptions in deciding the nature, time and scope of the audit procedures, as well as analysing the audit outcomes. The rigorous evaluation of audit evidence requires professional skepticism. This includes challenging conflicting audit data as well as the accuracy of papers, response to the inquiries, and other information collected from management and the others in charge of governance. It also takes into account the sufficiency and appropriateness of audit evidence collected in light of the circumstance, such as when fraud risk elements exist and a single document of a susceptible to fraud character serve as the sole supporting evidence for a major financial statement amount. Unless the auditor has cause to believe otherwise, the auditor may accept records and documents as genuine. Nonetheless, the auditor must take into account the accuracy of the data that will be utilized as audit proof. When there is a question about the accuracy of information or there are signs of suspected fraud. For example, if conditions identified during the audit cause the auditor to believe that a document may not be authentic or that terms in a document may have been falsified. The auditor cannot be expected to ignore previous experience with the entity's management and those in charge of governance in terms of honesty and integrity.
Hi, my name is Azli Natasha binti Rosli. Now I will explain how professional judgment and professional skepticism are different in application. Each professional judgment and professional skepticism are required to conduct the quality assessments properly. Both are not the same in requirements and also different in their application. However, both complement each other in auditors' work. For professional judgment, auditors need to make decisions on many things even when completing a quality assessment. In order to properly judge, the audit needs to use his professional judgment to consider the following questions. Second, only such an auditor can acquire professional judgment whose standing, competence and experience that enable him to take advantage of such a stage of competence also enable him to acquire affordable judgment in a given situation. Last, the application of professional judgment is important in interpreting relevant legal norms and standards in specific circumstances. Meanwhile, for professional skepticism, the auditor is required to keep a mindset of professional skepticism while making plans and performing the audit adjustments. Besides, the idea of skepticism enables the auditor to understand that there may also be circumstances that could lead to material misstatement of the financial statement, and he must therefore be vigilant and cautious about such information. Last, skepticism also suggests that the auditor can receive data obtained through him until he obtains another piece of information that contradicts all records or expectations that the auditor has established. Next, potential barriers to professional skepticism. First is tone of firm leadership. Academic research, Carpenter suggests that proper tone at the top leadership is a result of a leader emphasis on effectiveness rather than efficiency. Second is lack of knowledge or training. The PCAOB believe that a lack of technical training, knowledge and experience may be a hindrance to expressing an appropriate level of professional skepticism. Last, predisposition to clients. An auditor's predisposition to clients can result in missing material misstatements or lack of proper risk assessment. Additionally, the auditor may be presented with situations that are high risk but fail to make modifications to the audit procedures during the audit process.
Hi, my name is Nur Anisha binti Raza, and I'm going to explain about the importance of professional judgment and professional skepticism, including conclusion and recommendation. The auditor used professional judgment in conducting review engagement by utilizing their training, knowledge, and experience to make proper decisions. Besides, the auditor and staff need to attain an appropriate understanding of the entity in conducting a review engagement, so they can use their professional judgment to ascertain which parts of the financial statements where it has material misstatements and design procedures appropriately to avoid obtaining insufficient evidence. Therefore, professional judgment is important to avoid insufficient evidence, and from there, we can detect material misstatement. While professional skepticism is having a suspicious thought, feeling, mindset, etc. towards the evidence, inspecting thoroughly, and delving into the clue that can bring possible material misstatement because of error of word when performing review engagement. The auditor and any employees must inquire the management or any parties involved within the entity regarding financial and accounting problem to avoid obtaining insufficient evidence, and when the response are received, it needs to be meticulously checked. Thus, the importance of professional skepticism is to evaluate evidence and find any trace of misstatement. Next is conclusion. We can agree that first element of professional judgment and skepticism is what an auditor should do in auditing. Second, ethical requirement of professional judgment is evaluate evidence based on application of auditing. Third, auditors have to consider risk when assessing material misstatement. Fourth, we know the importance of professional judgment and professional skepticism in auditing. 5. There are different applications of professional judgment and skepticism in auditing. And last, barrier of professional skepticism in audit due to client, lack of training, and undue influence. For the recommendation below is the suggestion to choose which word is suitable for the auditor to carry out professional judgment and professional skepticism. First is the auditor should use professional judgment when preserving material misstatement by using their knowledge, experience, and understanding of the entity too. The auditor should use professional skepticism when inspecting any error of fraud in the evidence gained and be ready with questions to ask the management regarding the evidence. Third, professional judgment and professional skepticism can be applied at the same time when evaluating evidence. This is the reference for our presentation. Thank you for watching.